The best real estate investments. That's today's video. Let's dive in. What in the world are the best real estate investments? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris. I'm the founder of Morris Invest. If you're looking to pick up your first rental property and you want it totally done for you, I'm talking from finding the property, rehabbing the property, placing the tenant and having it fully managed for you and getting a high ROI, then give us a call. You can book a call with our team in the description below. I've rehabbed hundreds of homes, and I've dealt with and placed hundreds and hundreds of tenants in our properties. So I've also been through the ringer, and I know a thing or two about bad real estate investments and great real estate investments. And today we're going to talk about the best real estate investments. So as I mentioned, I've done it all. I've seen it all. I've gone through foreclosures. I've gone through deficiency judgments. I've been involved in speculative land projects years ago. Was involved with a development that totally went belly up. I've owned raw land as an investment. I've flipped houses. I have owned single families which were in the A-class neighborhoods. And guess what, folks? After many, many years of trial and error, I finally, a number of years ago, found the strategy that started to change my life and helped me to build financial freedom and ultimately hit that wealth goal that I wanted to by following this one strategy. And it helped me achieve financial freedom for me and my family. Now, there are different strategies in real estate, of course. Some people love owning big multifamilies, and they will sing to the hills that that is the best investment for them. The best real estate investments, the ones that have made my family wealthy, where I have secured my family's future, have come through single-family homes in C-class neighborhoods with a high ROI, meaning a high cash flow, and I've found them below market value. So I'm going to dive into each of these points here in a moment. But first I want to lay it out more broadly. And by the way, I've had each of these properties then fully managed with our great property management team, so that I don't have to worry about phone calls for an eviction process or a toilet is backed up. You've got great pieces in place all along the way. Now, like I said, I've tried all of these different strategies. I've invested for appreciation, which was a vehicle that you could do a number of years ago. In Florida, you could buy a house for $200,000, turn around 60 days later and sell it for $230,000. That's because appraisers were in the pockets of real estate brokers, and it was a disaster. Of course, we all remember what happened. So I've invested for appreciation, and I did pretty well, and then I did pretty badly. I've invested for equity. I've done okay. Equity is still not my main concern or play. So now how do I invest? I invest for cash flow. Cash flow is king. And cash flow is king in a down economy. When the economy goes bust, where do you want to be? You want to have cash on hand or cash coming in. So to me, that is one of the best real estate investments you can make. If you're investing just purely for equity, I can't do anything with equity. I can leverage it at some point if I'm lucky, if a bank will work with me, but then I'm still having to invest that in other assets that are going to produce what for me? Either cash flow or more equity, and then I'm going to pull that money out and try to buy more equity. Why wouldn't I want to just create cash flow from the outset? See, smart economists will say this repeatedly, that in a down economy, just look at Harry Dent, for instance. You can read his great economics reports on his website. He'll talk about that in a down economy, the winners are always those with cash on hand and cash flow coming in from, and one of his favorite assets is single-family real estate that produces monthly cash flow with tenants that don't tend to lose their job in a down economy. Those are the service workers. Those are the people that work at the hospitals, the nurses, the postal employees who rent from me in those C-class neighborhoods. Those, my friends, are the tenants you want that will produce that cash flow on a regular and consistent basis. So there are four, count them, four different areas that I see as making up a best real estate investment, okay? Follow me here. Number one, you're gonna buy that house below market value. Why? Well, even though we're not playing the equity game, even though I'm not terribly concerned about the equity, what I like to do is to find and acquire the properties below the market value And then number 2 on my list is I like to rehab the property and bring it up to a great level where I don't have to worry about repairs for 10, 15 years. So now if I buy it below market value and I add, let's say I buy it for 30,000 and I put 10,000 into it, but it's worth 50. Now I've got $10,000 worth of equity that I found by buying it off market. That means I didn't buy it through typically a realtor. I didn't find it on Zillow, or I didn't find it on some website. No, I found it off market using the strategies and tactics that I love to use to find my properties. So finding a property off market. Number 2, rehabbing the property, bringing it up to a par where I don't have to worry about repairs for a number of years. And then number 3, I like to fill it with a great tenant who's going to cash flow that property for many years to come. And that all, of course, leads us to number 4, which is having a great property management team that's going to find the tenant that's going to cash flow that property for many years to come. Now, I know it seems like a rudimentary formula, and you may be sitting back there scratching your head saying, how is that possible? How are you going to do all that? Think about it. I do it all day long. There are people out there who don't have college degrees, who are multimillionaires in real estate investing. The best real estate investments are those that are producing cash flow. Those are the ones that are bringing in financial freedom for people all over this country. Finding off-market properties, finding those properties that have some inherent equity built into them. You just need to do a little work to bring them up to par, and sometimes it could be as simple as paint and carpet. We acquire properties all the time that have a brand new furnace or nearly a new furnace. The roof is in great condition. The water heater was recently replaced. Maybe a grandmother lived in the property and the family inherited the property. They don't want to put it on the open market. They don't want to deal with it. They just want to offload that property. But you know what? It does need some updating. It does need some paint. Needs some fresh carpet. She had a dog. Great. Put in some new appliances. There, you spent $3,000, $4,000, and now you've increased the equity of that house. Then you hire the great property management team to come in, give you an assessment of how much it'll rent for, and then cash flow that property. Month in and month out, you're receiving $700, $800, $900 a month in cash flow from that one asset. That, folks, to me, is the best real estate investment. One that you buy off market, one that you're able to add value to, one that cash flows, and that is fully managed. It's simple. 4 simple steps. Don't overcomplicate it. If you want to deep dive this, I have a full-on passive income, the ultimate guide to passive income, right here on the channel. I want you to check it out. It's a full video. It's going to deep dive all of these different strategies. And how to find these properties, how to cash flow it properly. It's a real deep dive. I mean, bring your paper and pencil and sit down, grab a glass of wine, because it's going to be an education on how I've done it and how I've been able to achieve financial freedom with my family. I want you to be able to go out there and do it yourself. Look, I'm not a rocket scientist. You can do this. I know you can. That's what this channel is all about. So if you're not a subscriber, please just subscribe. Click over there, subscribe, and hit the little bell for that notification to remind you about it. We publish our videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So set your clocks, set notifications. We're back with another video in a few days. Thanks, everyone. I want you to go out there, take action, and become a real estate investor. We'll see you next time.